Ben here with Amtex Equipment. Today I'm presenting to you one of our most beautiful piece of equipment that we have customized for one of our VIP customers in Osaka, Japan. B-Future Corporation. B-Future has been with us for almost a year now, and they have a very great track record as far as supplying their customers with the finest system. And we happen to be one of their suppliers from the United States, exporting our Prowlers and Inferno system to Japan for their sales and their usage. Now this system, it is a 2545 Inferno, except with few differences. Starting with the engine itself, it is not a gasoline powered. It is a propane powered engine, which starting from the left side of the system, if you notice, you have your propane tank with a customized cart that we have made for our client's company. And if we follow the fuel line explaining how this thing works, as the liquid propane flows towards the solenoid valve right here, which is set for safety, you can hear it as I turn the ignition off and on. It allows the liquid propane to flow into the evaporator chamber, which is located right next to the exhaust, with an order from the Kohler engine that built this engine, and also provide us with the LP system. Now, as the air in the front is sucked in, because this engine is air-cooled, the air goes around the block of the engine, and the left cylinder, as the air exits, it travels over the evaporator coil, and of course makes the liquid propane into a vapor. And as the vapor, high pressurized vapor, travels towards this piece on the left side of the engine, which is called a regulator, the amount of fuel that's been sent to the engine is regulated. It means what? If you run the engine fast, of course, the regulator is going to provide more fume, and as you slow down the engine, the regulator kind of slows down the flow of the propane, so you have a smooth running engine. Now, if you come to the front, unlike some of the earlier models of the Kohler engine, this one does not have any choke, because as the pressurized propane enters the chamber, it does provide enough fume into the system to create and provide the first igniting for the engine to start running. But as far as the other features, they're pretty much same as the Inferno 2545 that we put out, which is powered by gasoline engine, except this system, because our customer requested for the whole entire width to be less than 30 inch, because some of the type of ramp they use, or some of the tummy lift that they use in Japan to unload and load and unload this system. So we were limited to 30-inch wide system. That's why you don't see the side flare as you see in the normal design. And some of the features that used to be to the left side of the system is being moved up in the areas very accessible for our customers to be able to do their pressurizing, also their vacuum hookup. Any other feature on this system is pretty much same as the 2545, with your vacuum 0 to 30 to the left. Your indicator lights are very simple and readable right below it, which of course as you turn the key on, this lights indicates that your key left on, so you do not have your propane flowing into the evaporator constantly for safety. Now the green light, as you know, it will come on once you turn the water on, and of course it allows the engine to fire up. Anything else is pretty much same. Like I said, you do have a tiny tach on the top, which right now shows 1 hour and 8 minutes, but once we crank the engine, which we're going to do it in the next video that we're going to do for you, show his power, you'll be able to see the speed of the engine instead of hour. Now right below is your temperature gauge with built-in thermostat, and of course your everyday pressure output bypass, your pressure gauge, and your water inlet, and of course here's your exhaust of your engine. Now one of the unique thing about this machine is built on an aluminum platform, as far as the weight of it, for it to be as light as possible for transporting and what have you. So we kind of minimize the usage of steel as far as building the frames and the bottom platform of this unit. We went ahead and did them with aluminum. That way we'll be able to have as light as possible unit for transport. Now, to give you a quick look around the machine, as we come to the left side, here's your exhaust of your engine, which of course if we bring the camera to the back, you'll be able to see how nicely the engine exhaust has been combined together with all stainless steel parts and wrapped for safety, combined together to create a maximum back pressure for heavy heat production and guide it towards the right side of the machine to be spit out into the air in a 45-degree angle for safety. Now, if we come again towards the right side of the machine, you do see your pressure sensors. As a quick review, the first one is the one that allows your machine to start if the water is connected. In other words, for any reason, if your water supply to the machine gets shut off, this switch will send the signal quickly to the engine to shut down to prevent any kind of damage. The right pressure switch is the one that operates the green light in front, which tells the operator that you have a good amount of water coming in for operation. However, if you, for whatever reason, you're trying to start the machine and the green light start blinking, that means the system pretty much is telling you the water pressure that's coming in, it is not enough. Maybe you need to turn the faucet completely on, or maybe you have a kink in your hose. Now, right past these switches, you do run into an incoming water regulator. This is a very simple design that we've been using for years without any downtime. This baby right there, if we go to the left side of the machine, it allows the injector, a simple injector that we've been practicing for years on our unit without any failure. That unit on the right side of the machine allows this injector to operate. How? Any kind of water pressure from different countries, different states, different cities, you do run into different PSIs. In order for this pump to be able to do injection and do a self-priming, any kind of incoming water pressure has to be 20 psi and below. That's why that regulator on the other side does the job. Any kind of water pressure you give to this machine, it will reduce it down to 20 psi and below. That way this baby will be able to inject chemical. Now, your pump is very accessible since we're on the left side of the machine. If you ever want to even do any kind of rebuild into this system, the way our machines are designed, there is no need for you to go inside the frame to do any kind of repair, because inside of our frame there is hardly anything that needs to be replaced. If we bring the camera closer, you'll be able to see inside our frame is nothing but silencer and a bunch of wiring and hoses. Anything on any kind of truck one that could have gone bad, malfunction, replacement, repairs, and what have you, on our machines are located outside. So your pump head is right here. You'll be able to rebuild the pump head of the pump without removing it. Your thermal relief valve is right to the right side, which as the water loops around into the regulator, come back, and if the temperature reaches over 140 degrees, this popper valve will open and slowly allow water to start traveling. If we take the camera all the way up, you come in here and it will spit it into the tank. Now, if we come around the machine, kind of bring the camera higher if you don't mind, please, Jeff. You'll be able to see the latest look of exterior filter housing. By having a filter on the top, if you notice, we have separated the surface where the area where the gray water enters from the area where the air needs to travel in. So this filter can go easily about over 120 to 30 hours without any need of cleanup. That means it saves you time as far as doing your cleanups and what have you, so you can take it at the time and put that time into more positive type of work. Now, as far as removing the top of the tank, just like the 2545, it's very simple. You loosen the union right here. You'll be able to simply remove the whole entire top, combine with the filtration box, and do the cleanup. As we come to the front, and we go on top of the engine, your oil fill is to the right. It's designated with the oil emblem, and then if you go to the back, you'll be able to see the oil dipstick, very accessible. At the same time, if we come around to the left side of the machine, you'll be able to see your oil dipstick for the pump, very accessible. You'll be able to simply unscrew it, just like the other unit. Take it out and touch the tip of the oil dipstick. If you have oil, that means you're safe. Your demo discharge valve, this is a unit that we use in all of our units. We've been practicing this unit for almost over 15 years now without any failures. This is a normally closed solenoid valve, which we're going to get into why we have a valve after it, once we explain to you what this valve consists of. This is a normally closed 12 DC solenoid valve, which is, what it does, it blocks the pressure that wants to travel out to go into the tank. At the same time, by blocking the pressure, you're trapping the water inside of your heaters. That's why Inferno known to be a hellraiser when it comes to heat production. So now that demo normally closed valve is connected to the thermal sensor of the temperature gauge right here. You'll be able to set this temperature setting on anything you like, anywhere from 130 all the way up to 250. Once the temperature rises and reaches that marking, it will send a signal to the demo valve right here to open up and start slowly flush some water from the right heat exchanger, which is going to combine the water from the left. That way, let's say if you have set up your temperature at 220 degrees, once the temperature reaches 220, we don't give a complete drop from 220, but by spraying slowly water out of the system, you get in the system to slowly relieve itself and get its temperature, let's say from 220 to 219. That means you still have the sizzling heat at your disposal. Why? Because our discharge of edema, after years of building these, we have come up with the right size of jet inside of this tank, which slows down the cooling off the heat exchangers. That's why in a lot of videos and a lot of reports that you guys see on the Googles and different forums, everybody brags about the Inferno heat production. Now, just to kind of touch up everything, the top section of this machine is your vacuum system. Just like the Infernos with the gasoline power, it is driven by two Goodyear B52 belts. Why two belts? Because for safety and also for convenience, let's say it's a weekend and you take out one belt, you still have one more belt to be able to serve you throughout the weekend for you to finish all your job. That way you'll be able to do the belt change. Now, just like the other units that we built, we don't have any tensioners on our machine. If we go around, there is no tension on the blower. There is no tension on the pump. All of these machines are done by AutoCAD designs and drawings. So in order to change this belt is very simple. By removing the cover, loosening the bolts on the pump, you'll be able to push the pump back, put the belt back on, and as you pull the pump forward, just tie it down and you get the complete correct tension. Same thing about the blower. In order to remove the belts off the blower, all you got to do is just loosen that union. And of course, removing the cover, you'll be able to shift this blower forward, put the new belt back on. As you tie it down, blower gets exactly what it was scheduled as far as the tension of this belt from the factory. That means you can't go too tight, you can't go too loose. Every time you do your belt exchange, it's going to be done exactly how it was done from factory in Houston. Now, I want to go ahead and cut the story short here, or the video short here, because I want to be able to attach another video or maybe include another second part to this video showing the machine's power in action. And of course, towards the end of it, I might be able to squeeze some time showing some troubleshooting as far as, let's say, loss of your pressure, what to do, loss of your vacuum, loss of the heat, and what have you. Until then, we'll see each other. Thank you.